I am fuel boy this morning. So the other thing I gotta do here this morning is Peter ended up getting our strip tilling done last night. So we're gonna go do some for cousin Kenny and Johnny. And but their rates are slightly different. So I am going to gotta recalibrate this all. So let me see if I can walk myself. As the tractor's finishing fueling, I'm realizing Peter didn't quite get empty. So scale's telling us we got right around 1,400 pounds left in there. So we just need to keep track of that. This is our fertilizer that's in there. So we'll do some figuring out that later on. The blends themselves aren't so drastically different that you probably could just turn up his rate a little bit, empty this out on their field, and then try with the rest after that. But anyway, for now, we got that on record as to how much there is, and I think tractor's full. So okay, so Peter just phoned me, and he's on his way. So we're gonna have a slight change of plans. I'm actually going to run this tractor over to the next field. Appears like it could be a nice sunny day again today.
Well, we are rolling. I was able to finish that last field yet today, and I've moved, well, it was a bit of a drive to the next field. And we were working on soybean stubble. This is working so much better. And you, yeah, part of me wonders why I didn't come here first. Well, this field is just barely crested as well. But it seems like it's just working so much nicer. This field actually has some spots that aren't even crested over, yet the field in itself is a lot firmer than the last field. So I've got about 70 acres here to do. And then I got a quarter across the road, and then another 480. Oh, if things can go like this, it'll be well, it'll be good. I'm hoping we can keep going. I've had virtually no problems at on this field, and that is, I haven't had that since we got all the rain. I haven't had yeah, I haven't been able to go this steady yet. So well, I'm glad I fixed my problems with or that this land is working a little bit better. But for some reason, I got no auto steer, and called the little Morden or GPS guy Norm there, and he said everybody's is all going to be screwed up tonight. Everybody. So some of our stuff we. With our Orthman and our strip tiller, and with the planter, we need that to be like sub-inch, so it needs to be deadly accurate. They can't hand steer that. So I'm not sure what those guys are up to right now, but if they're having issues, which I'm sure they are, that's not going to be fun. Me, on the other hand, I can see my line, and I do have my lines are up on my screen, and it tells me which direction I need to go. Only thing is, I have to actually look at that. So this field will not be perfectly straight.
So this morning is plot time. What I've got is I got two different varieties from a company called Cropland that wants me to try. So that one over there, and then this single bag plus North Star Genetics has one they want me to try. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put 12 rows of each of these, so half the planter per each, and then when I got that done, we'll clean out and put those ones in. So yeah, this is all a bit time consuming, but hopefully we get it all figured out. But what it's also a little trickier is they are different seed sizes, so I got to work with my pressures here a little bit. But I think I should be able to make this all happen. Well, I will be able to make it all happen. It's just how much time is it going to take. So anyway, so what I've done is we got it all cleaned out. Oh, I've got a couple here. There. Everything's cleaned out. Now I got to put these discs back on, and then I'm actually going to use, I've got an ice cream pail over there. We're going to try to top them all up evenly and see where we go. Okay, so I've kind of got the bags split up, the two bags. What I'm going to do is I'm putting this bag here. This is the 2585 by Cropland. I'm putting it right in the middle of the 12 rows. That is going with it. Then over here, where we're going to go with the North Star Genetic stuff, I'll put that bag in there. One thing I want you to notice is each of those bags had 80,000 kernels in it, and so one's got a little bit bigger seed. And what you're going to notice is these ones are the bigger seed, and they are definitely got more area, if you will, taken up in here. So, and if you're wondering, you see these odd little purple guys in here, purple ones instead of green ones, this is what they call refuge in the bag. So this stuff is one thing we often fight up here, is corn growers fight, is something called corn borer, which eats corn when it gets to mature. And so they've got stuff bred into these so that they fight the corn borer. But in order to do that, where we don't end up with the corn borer becoming immune to the chemical, if you will, 20% of all corn seeds are conventional. So kind of these ones, if all of a sudden corn borer comes in, you're throwing these ones to the wind, and they're saying, okay, corn borer, if you want to eat the ones that are purple in this situation. So yeah, 20% of the seed is not treated with that, the rest of it is. Okay, so I started with this plot at 27.5 acres, so right around 32.5 is where I should be getting empty. So we'll see how we are. And I've actually got it remarkably close to flat line, considering the rather large seed size difference. So that I'm pretty happy with. Makes for a good plot. So anyway, it's a little higher on the smaller seed size, but that's kind of understandable due to the situation.
All right. Well, I finished that field at 80, right across the road, and I am so happy. My machine is working the way it should be. I don't know what was up with those fields. It just seems like I could not move. The ground was so mellow, so soft. I have no idea, but I've never had that with this unit where I couldn't travel. If it was crusted, normally I can just go. But on this field, on those fields, it was crusted, but it was so soft. I just couldn't move. So I'm a little worried to see what those fields are going to look like. But in the moment, I was thinking that there was something wrong with the machine, and I kept on adjusting and trying to figure things out. And there was lots of things that I thought was happening. Scrapers not being adjusted proper, or something stopping the discs. I couldn't figure it out. And then I was adjusting my speed, going from 6.5 miles. Typically with this unit, slower isn't better. You want to be going 7 mile an hour plus. From any experience that I had, I tried down to 6.5 mile an hour, and it seemed to work, but then it wouldn't work. It worked for like a couple up and downs, and then it would be back to square one. So then I tried up to 7.5 mile an hour. I did some more adjusting. I did some things that didn't make any sense to me. I actually went deeper because making more friction to hit the disc to make them turn. I tried that. That seemed to actually be the best thing. And I didn't really go a whole lot deeper. It was only like I think 1/4 inch or 3/8 of an inch. So very frustrating, very time consuming. And the last 3 days I did, what was it? I've done 3/4, I think. I don't even know what it was. Anyway, and just this, once I got over to the soybean stubble, I've been traveling much, well, I'm just driving. I'm not even, never stopping to unplug, never stopping to do anything, just drive. So I was a little leery to make any comments about that on the last field, because as soon as I got the unit running good, then my GPS kicked out. Now my GPS is running good.
Okay, we're gonna put this next and last tote horn seat in. Too much in that one now. This is where if I had in the tender unit I could scale it and then I'd know exactly, but this is still way faster. Oop. I'm yelling like you can hear me, but you can't. What else was I worried about? Hey, well, that's that. Okay, we are rolling now. I've got the mini bulk in and we're rolling. I've not got the mini bulk, or the center fan, which is this hydraulic, is not going yet, and I'm not going to have it going until we run out of that seed. So yeah, should be a couple more acres here yet, and then we are good to go. So after that, it is, well, I'm getting some lovely stuff on my face here too by the look of it. But yeah, now we're loaded up for 112 acres, I believe, or so we shouldn't be stopping so much. Now we should be able to roll on. So happy seeding. Okay, sitting in my cab, and I thought I gotta go and do a bit of a conversation about this field. So this field that we're on here is probably some of our lightest dirt that we have on the farm. So it's been a concern when we've been doing lots of tillage on here. There's two things: you get winds, you start getting dust storms, and there's just different things that go on, and start losing topsoil, and the sand actually starts cutting plants off, and we've had lots of grief. And this field has probably been our most drastic that we have. So anyway, we switched to strip till about 3 years ago, and I want to just show you a little bit of what's going on. So if you look at here, so here is a strip that Peter did. Now yesterday or the day before. I guess it was yesterday, I think he finished this field. And then here's one. And then here in the middle, if we look carefully, we're gonna actually see, like, those are the bean stems from last year. And every 30 inches, you're gonna see a row of bean stems. The other thing that you're gonna see, here's corn stubble. So the beans are from last year. This corn stubble is actually still in here from 2022. So it is not even all broken down. Now, is that really good? Well, this is what I'm gonna tell you. And this ground here, because it has not been touched, it is a lot firmer, and the wind can't, and also now with having the stubble and some of these other things in the way, that it's undisturbed, the wind does not get at it the same, and it does not blow, nowhere near. And so, I don't know if you can see it as we're walking here, but there's a lot more trash than we would normally have had, especially on a spring following soybeans. So, 2 years ago we would have worked this up, and that corn stubble would have pretty much all been gone. And that's 2 years ago, and now for sure the bean stubble would be gone. So needless to say, we got a lot more stuff intact. The soybean roots from last year are actually still intact. They're in the ground, they're holding together, so that's good. And all in all, it's just holding everything together. Now, what about those 8-inch strips? You're right, that can blow. What you're gonna notice though is, after I've gone over with the planter, everything gets packed in here a lot tighter, and it's actually in a little bit of a hollow. That is where, this is where, so up here is where unworked ground, a little bit of fluff here on the side, but unworked here, and then the seed is down here. And that is going to help keep everything safe. The other thing that it also does is when the corn comes to be very little, it's also going to provide a little bit more of a shelter for it. And in theory, this is just going to be all around better on this type of dirt. Okay, so right there is water. I had been stuck in that spot 2 years ago. Peter figures that I will go through it, so we are going to try. But where much of this province is feeling like they're in good shape moisture-wise, we're definitely not dry. We'll see how it goes. Yeah, 2 years ago we got stuck in that spot with the 8690 planting. I believe it was corn that year, and that was more end of May, so that would have been later on in the year. And so we will see. I'm hoping we don't have issues. I'm gonna, yeah, it's just always a little entertaining. I got no other tractor help for a few miles away, so it's a little nerve-wracking. And I'm also quite confident that this thing can, what this tractor can go through, so. Okay, so it won't be this pass. It will be next one, and am I literally going to be driving right in that water by the look of it? Yeah, that's going to be right exactly in the wrong spot. What I'm going to do is I'm going to skip this spot, and we're going to go from the other side. Decisions. Or do I just bite the bullet and try to get her done? I think that's what we're going to do. Because I've only got like 2 passes in their side there anyway, so I don't make that much of a difference. Just prolong the agony. These are very, very short little patches here. This spot is just, it's a little bit always, I don't know why, but it just always seems to be a bit on the wet side. I think it's probably the moisture keeps running out of that bush late. Yeah, it's literally going to be right where I'm driving. Well, here goes nothing, I guess. gonna speed up. Of course, now my GPS is not. Planter gonna go through? We did. Okay, well that was a lot less stressful than it needed, or less stressful than it was appearing at first. So we are through. I've got, according to this, about 2 more short little passes and then this field is done.
Well, it's been going pretty good. I've done a little over 80 acres. Down and I have to stop now. Haven't had to do this in a long time, which has been awesome. Give me a rock. I just checked the weather on my phone and they are saying there's a slight chance of thunderstorms tomorrow. Which we don't need any more rain. On the other hand, those last fields that I did, I don't even know what to think about them. It's a rain would definitely cover up any mistakes that I had. Yet the fields definitely are not dry. So.
Well, we got done. Kendall and Peter have been having issues with their GPS. It seems like there's solar flares or something happening in the universe that is not working good on our GPS. Mine managed to keep going, so, which is great. And I was able to get the corn done. So we're going to empty things out here, clean things out, and then see if we can get ready, so maybe we can start beans tomorrow, is what maybe the plan will be. But for now, corn is complete.
Alright, I've got about an 8 left in my fuel tank. I've got about 38 acres left. And I know Daryl or Dylan, they're packing it in for the night. We are done the corn, awesome. And they're switching things over to soybeans. I don't see them much anymore. Dylan helps me out with loading, but I haven't seen Daryl actually in a couple of days. We're both doing our thing. I run this thing, he runs the planter. We're trying to get some crop in the ground. We've been hammering down because we feel like we're stressed, that we should be further than what we are. Last year, we started yesterday. So it's May 10th. Last year we started on May 9th. And we had a good crop. So yeah, when I finish this field, we're going to be just about half done, and our oats is out of the ground and the corn is all in. So once we get into soybeans and canola, that will crush acres big time. We can do a lot of acres in a day, barring that, you know, between this thing and the planter, that nothing breaks down, that we don't have issues. But an 800 acre day isn't uncommon. So yeah, shouldn't take too many days once we get going. Once we get into beans, that is, beans and canola. I'll put canola down with this thing. I don't have any fertilizer, so I just have seed, and I can basically put in, if I wanted to, I could put enough seed into this thing to do all, whatever, I got 1,000, 1,100 acres of canola. So I'm not gonna do that, but I could. So that's basically, it's just drive. Well, again, barring breakdowns, but I don't have to stop to fill a whole lot. yeah, hopefully I make it on fuel. Like I said, got 36 acres now left and under an eighth of tank, so. Well, looks like we're gonna do it. We're gonna make it. I got about a 16th left in fuel, so we're gonna go park this thing by the corner and call it a day. But at 4 o'clock today, I had seeded 100 acres. It is now 10:30, and I've seeded another 240 acres. So you can say that things are working much better, and hopefully by tomorrow, if I can have a good day like today, then we can hammer off like a 480 left of wheat. So here's for hoping. One more day left of wheat if all goes well. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for taking the time to watch, and have yourself a good one.